Hello and welcome to the Hawkeye Headquarters Weekly Podcast. Evan Denton alongside Joel Keller. We got a jam-packed show. And last week we talked about the best moments of the year, but we didn't talk about our favorite moments of the podcast so far. So Joel, we've had almost 10 months now of this podcast. What is your top moment so far from the pod?
Man, it's hard to choose from. We've had a lot of fun moments. I would hate to go back to the Sweet 16.
Right.
After being in Florida. That was really fun. That's kind of low hanging fruit. But honestly, like thinking back to football, just like, the losses were tough, but I feel like we made some good light of them.
We did.
And, it was fun to kind of just joke around and be like, what could have happened? What could have happened after Oregon, Indiana, Iowa State, USC, the list goes on.
We were very non-partisan. We were pretty even keel, I think.
Yeah.
During both football and basketball season. But before I get my answer, let's bring in Gabe to this conversation because Gabe, you've been behind the scenes, but you've been there every step of the way. What was your favorite moment for the podcast?
So my favorite moment is probably going to Kinnick and just having that whole stadium to ourselves, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that was
cool experience.
Awesome. I'm thinking the same thing as Gabe. In that moment, I felt like, wow, we've actually made it. Like we had the entire stadium to ourselves. We were at center field, at midfield, and just talking about the upcoming Oregon game. I'm like, wow, this is really just all us out here. We made it happen. And hopefully in the future, we can possibly go to inside Carver Hawkeye at some point, maybe talk to Ben McCollum or Jan Jensen. But being inside of Kinnick for that major game coming up for Iowa, that was my favorite moment of the year.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and that was a great podcast.
It was,
I think we killed it out there. Not to toot our own horn, but
we ended up talking about the Oregon Duck versus Herky. Remember that
yeah.
conversation about who
that's
had the
an
better
all-timer
budget?
right there. Yeah, what is the better mascot?
I still hold out that it is Herky, but the Oregon Duck has had some pretty good material to work with.
Yeah, I think if you go down in like a budgetary, like dollar for dollar, I think Herky's got him, but the Duck can just do so much. So
would you ever consider being a mascot?
No. Especially during a game.
Yeah.
I don't think I could like focus on the fan engagement
Right.
that much. I think I'd be too focused on actually like watching the game and enjoying it.
I mean, also kind of think of the late August heat.
Oh my
inside
gosh.
that big costume.
Yeah.
That would
They
be
roll
terrible.
through. They go through when it's really hot. They do 4 different people inside the mascot because it's that hot. It is bad.
I didn't know that. 4-person rotation.
Yeah, and then when it's in the cooler games, I believe it's just 2.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean sometimes you'll see Herky out there at the different height.
Yeah.
Not to like kill the magic there for all the believers in Herky.
Right. I mean, you got Herky doing push-ups for every touchdown, every field goal, so it really stacks up.
I mean, when the Hawks are scoring 40 points, yeah.
Shout out UMass.
Yeah.
All right.
Wisconsin, Washington.
Forgot about Wisconsin too. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's switch gears for a second because Ben McCollum, he is not going anywhere anytime soon. A new contract through 2032, an extension making over $4.3 million per year. Joel, Iowa has its guy.
Yeah, and he might need another extension after next year, the year after that. Just keep pumping him up. I think some of those top college basketball guys, they get what, like $6 million?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if McCollum is hitting 6, 7, 8 million by the time the 2020s end.
I'm not surprised by the extension. I am kind of surprised though it came after year 1.
Right? I mean, how often does that happen?
He must have a lot of belief from Beth Getz and the entire athletic department, which he does obviously. But I still thought, okay, 1 year can be considered a fluke. But if you do it multiple years, now that's a pattern, and then I could see an extension after year 2. But Beth Getz knows what she's doing.
Yeah, and here's the thing: like 10 years ago, yeah, I'd be in your boat with that. Like, prove it.
Yep.
But now, I mean, if you're not locking down your guy, he could jump ship at any point, and the buyout's not too crazy yet. But I would say like that'd probably be the big thing in the coming years. Say Ben McCollum has a good next 2 years. I'd want that buyout shoot up. Yeah. Right now I think it's only $5 million, and then it slowly goes down. So it's like, okay, if you can raise that buyout, that's really what keeps coaches in town for longer periods, not just like the annual value of the contract.
Mhm.
Almost any Power 5 school can hand out what 4.5 million a year.
Exactly. So going off of that, according to ESPN and AP, McCollum's buyout, if he leaves for another job on April 1st, 2027, it's $5 million. But like Joel said, after that, it goes down progressively over the next couple of years in the contract. It's kind of, this might be a far-stretching question, all right? 1 year of Ben McCollum. Is he already a top 5 coach of the Big Ten?
I think you got to put him up there. I mean, you kind of look at what he did, even before Drake, and then you look at what he did at Drake, and we knew he's a good coach. This isn't like a first-time head coach,
Right.
like, maybe it's lucky. It's like, no, he can actually coach. Now,
He's a winner.
yeah, and now if he can like replicate the success in the NCAA tournament, that's another standard.
Mhm.
But he's a great coach. He knows the X's and O's extremely well. He puts in all the effort. I mean, he's talked about it all the time, like countless games of film for every single game, and it's just like absurd. It's where do you have all these hours in the day, man? It's crazy. But yeah, I think top 5 isn't that crazy, and the Big Ten's had it's been a revolving door a little
Turnover,
bit, yeah, the past couple of years.
So I looked at the list of Big Ten coaches when I put this question together. You got Dusty May, reigning national champ.
Right,
Tom Izzo,
right,
Brett
yeah,
Underwood, Matt Painter. That's 4 right there.
yeah.
Ben McCollum, I would put him 5th above people like Hoiberg at Nebraska because, he won 2 out of 3 against Nebraska
Yeah, I
last
mean,
year.
You got to.
And then Greg Gard's been around for a while, but he hasn't had that signature deep run in March.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I actually do have McCollum in my top 5.
Yeah, I think he's right there at 5. I think, with a couple of good years, I think
Mhm.
Painter's in reach. Dusty May and Izzo. I mean, Izzo for sure. He's kind of out on an island,
Yeah.
probably for me at number 1. But national champion Dusty May, he's
Right.
up there until he leaves. No, he'll probably. I feel like he's gonna stick around Ann Arbor for a while.
I think the term a while is interesting because if Indiana struggles again, we talked about this last time,
Yeah.
Darian DeVries, we do know that Dusty May was a student manager under Bobby Knight at Indiana. And so there got to be some emotional strings to that job in particular.
That's true. But now you got the emotional strings of a ring.
Yeah, true. I mean, look at the rest of the Big Ten coaches. You got people like Darian DeVries,
Mhm.
I take McCollum. Buzz Williams at Maryland, take McCollum. Nico Medved, Minnesota, young coach. He's good.
Yeah.
But I'm taking
Drake.
I'm taking Ben McCollum over him.
Yep.
Chris Collins, go Cats. Going McCollum. Jake Diebler at Ohio State, McCollum.
I couldn't even pull out that name, to be honest. I for the longest time I couldn't get out of my head that it was that Tom what's his name, the old Ohio State coach, 2010s.
Thad Matta.
Thad Matta,
Yeah.
not Tom. Yeah, Thad Matta. I for some reason up until a little bit ago, I was like, oh, that's still the Ohio State coach, and I was
Right.
like, wait a minute, no, it's not. No, it's like
Different
Get your head
era.
out of 2010.
Oregon, Dana Altman, the former
Yep.
Creighton guy. We've got Mike Rhodes at Penn State, taking McCollum. Steve Peichel at Rutgers, I'm taking Ben McCollum.
Yeah.
Mick Cronin, give me Ben McCollum. Eric Musselman at USC, give me McCollum.
Yep.
Danny Sprinkle at Washington, give me McCollum.
Yeah. I mean, the list is like these are Big Ten coaches, yeah, but they're also. I mean, they're not the best of the best
not.
when you get down there.
Iowa has a top 5 coach after 1 year in the Big Ten. That is a very good future ahead for Ben McCollum and the Hawkeyes, which we know they made it to the Elite 8 this past year when there were only 68 teams in the tournament. But moving forward, there are now going to be 76 teams in both the men's and women's tournament. Joel, we both love March Madness. All right.
Yes.
When you saw that headline, what was going through your mind?
Just why?
Why?
Like, what in the world are we doing?
I thought the worst thing that NCAA could do was having that concert in between game 1, game 2 of the Final Four. This takes the cake.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, the 2 of us, Gabe, let's find 2 more people. We'll make the tournament at this point. 76 teams? Come on. No. 64 was great. 68 I accepted. But
Yeah.
76, you're taking away the importance, in my opinion, of both the conference tournament and a little bit of the regular season.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's easier to get in now, and it's why reinvent the wheel?
Exactly.
Or like no one's reinvented sliced bread.
Yep.
Because it's fine. It's perfect the way it is. You
Right.
can't really make it any better. you can't make the tournament any better than 68 teams, 64 teams. And so now it's like, I mean, Tuesday and Wednesday, sure, there's going to be a lot of basketball on, but it's like, it's not high quality ball.
No.
I mean, the first four is already kind of tough to watch when it's the 16 seeds
seeds,
against each other. It's not the best ball in the world, you know, it's not tournament ball. Right. And there's just going to be more of that.
So now they're going to be 12 playing games at Dayton and one other site. All right. If you look at the top teams in the NIT this year that would have made it into the Big Dance, right? If it had been 76 teams, Auburn, who won the NIT, they were 17-16.
Yeah,
going into the NIT. Wake Forest was 26-7. All right. Tulsa 23-10. New Mexico 22-12. If you are outside the Power Four and that's your record, I'm not watching you respectfully.
Yeah. I mean, the only way that I would agree with this is in a scenario where Miami of Ohio got left out this year, but they didn't. They respected that. And it's like, that's really the only time that a team should be let in, where I would kind of agree with the bigger tournament field, is if you're keeping out like a team that won the regular season in the MAC and then, ended with like 3 losses, but lost once in the conference championship. But other than that, it's like, if you're 500, no.
Absolutely not.
I mean, if you have under 20 wins, like that should automatically disqualify you from the tournament.
Dayton went 19-14, and they would have been in.
Yeah.
Probably playing a home game on their home court in the first round.
True.
The NCAA is somehow going to mess this up. You already have perfection, and I don't use that word lightly, but March Madness, that first 2 weekends, is perfection. Why are you trying to ruin the brand that you've created and sustained for decades that people love? You just want more money.
Exactly. That's all it is. You know, the TV revenue from everyone tuning in.
Yeah.
It's for all those games. And, you know, I mean, I think after this first year, it's just going to be like, why do we have this? Like, there's not really any big upsets in this, so you're not really interested in that. And then, you know, I mean, if you get like an Auburn team to win, I mean, they're 17-16. Like, what are they going to do in the first round when they face like the 6th seed? Like, it's just going to be a loss. Like, just keep that where it is right now. It's the 4 teams that earn their way in during conference play or the conference tournaments usually,
right?
Or it's an elite like non-Power 5 team that you know slipped up once or twice, but they got great ball players.
So with the now expanded NCAA tournament, would you be in favor of them getting rid of the Big Ten conference tournament? I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think for college basketball, no. I think you need it. I think there's so much that helps with at the end of the day, seeding wise and everything. I mean, obviously you have so many games, but I mean for basketball, I think, you know, 30 games in the regular season is a little short.
It is.
For how like volatile these games are. It's not like the best team is winning every time out.
Right.
It happens less in baseball, but it's like baseball is the most like just weird luck based game. Absolutely. And then basketball and then football. So I think you do well adding those extra, 4 or 5 games.
It's a tough reality.
Yeah.
An expanded NCAA basketball tournament, but that is where we are. All right, let's go over to football now. All right. Iowa football now knows when it's playing at Washington, and it's on a Friday night. Okay, so what does that mean exactly? Well, I'm glad you asked. They have a 3-game stretch, as we know, of Michigan, Ohio State, and Washington, all within 2 weeks.
Absurd.
And they need to fly out to the West Coast for a Friday game.
Yeah. I mean, hop on that plane as soon as possible, Hawkeye football,
right?
And just get out there as quickly as you can. Screw classes.
Yeah.
No one even cares anyway. You guys are all pros at this point. So screw classes. Get out there and just get, jet lag gone by like Wednesday or Thursday and have like some tough practices on some high school's field out in Seattle.
I mean, if I'm Kirk Ferentz, all right, we start off playing at Michigan, home against Ohio State. Honestly, that Tuesday, I'm taking my team out to Seattle.
Yeah.
And like you said, practice on a local high school field, because that time change is no joke. And you get one less day. And I don't know what Washington's schedule looks like, but that's just a tough schedule to turn around.
Yeah. I mean, luckily the non-con shouldn't be too hard this year, but it's still you can't. I mean, you can't sleepwalk past Iowa State, UNI.
Nope.
I mean, Iowa State's their team got gutted, but I mean, they both have that underdog mentality and for the in-state rivalry. So it's like they're gonna come to play no matter what. And then yeah, you got Michigan, then turn around instantly Ohio State, and then short week Washington, who's gonna be a great team this year. I mean,
good.
I would probably put them in my preseason top 25.
I agree.
I think,
Yep.
yeah. So, there's no worse way to start out Big Ten play.
There's not. And I'm interested to get your thoughts on this. Because of the now Friday game in Washington, that probably means the Ohio State game is not going to be a night game.
Yeah, I would not throw it in a night game. I'd want, like, honestly, Big Noon would work for me. That probably benefits Ohio State, honestly, because they're used to playing in those. But maybe the 2:30 game or like a weird 3 o'clock Fox kick. But yeah, night game is. I mean, you don't want the guys staying out or like not getting back and getting to bed until like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. because of a night game, and then Sunday would be a waste at that point. Monday, everyone's showing up a little tired, and you're on a flight the next day. That's not good.
I mean, as you know, media availability for football is on a Tuesday. I feel like they might need to change that for that Washington week in particular, because that's going to be a fast turnaround for them for sure. So similar to basketball, there's been a lot of talk about possibly expanding the CFP to not 16 teams, 24 teams. And as a result, getting rid of the conference title game, which I'm not too mad about.
No, yeah.
But 24 teams, that just adds possibly, 3-4 more games if you are a lower seed? That's way too many games.
Yeah, it is absurd. I mean, I don't know how they're going to fit it all in. And, I mean, why schedule a non-con schedule at this point? I mean, if I were teams, I'm playing FCS teams all 3 games, because you have to be ranked in the top 25 to get in. Well, to get ranked in the top 25, don't slip up against a bad team. Okay, so I'm not going to play like, Iowa State, rebuilding Iowa State. I'm not going to play against, I don't even like Illinois State. Anyone you like would probably be, but like they have a chance. And then you have 8-9 games to kind of prove it in conference play, and you can slip up probably 2 or 3 times. Yeah. As long as you win all 3 of those non-con games. So it's like, why schedule a non-con schedule?
So the top 8 teams would get buys. 9 through 24 would play on campus games. The idea of a playoff game inside Kinnick is electric.
Yeah, and way more possible now.
Yes. I mean, if you're 9 through 16, you're hosting at least 1 game. That's incredible. They want to try to start the playoff by the second weekend in December, but here's the problem. That is typically when Army plays Navy, and it is known that no other game is played during that time slot.
Yeah.
And so, what if there's a year where either Army or Navy is in the running for a playoff spot? Can you not start the playoff until Christmas week? Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I think you do. You have to change that game. It puts them in such a trap. And here's kind of, I forget who brought this up, but I really like this idea. Move Army Navy to Thanksgiving. Okay. And, maybe work out a deal with the NFL. Like, keep 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock free. Yeah. And Army Navy there. And then that frees you up where you can go straight into playoffs, skip conference championships, straight in the playoffs, and then the championship January 1st, no matter what, every year. And then right after that championship, that is when the portal opens. That's when coaches can leave. Then because it's still before second semester starting, so you have about like 2-week little pillow there to kind of like make those moves. But then you don't have like offensive coordinators like taking on a head coaching job while they're still coaching in the playoff. Like Oregon had both of theirs, kind of doing a recruiting trip while Oregon was trying to win a national championship. And it's like, let's get rid of that, crunch it all into December for the playoff championship January 1st, and then get to the offseason activities in the actual offseason.
24 teams, way too many. Once again, NCAA ruining a good thing. And I don't get it, but
it's all for cash.
All for a lot more money into the NCAA. All right, Joel, you are a big golf guy. And here in the Quad Cities, we have the John Deere Classic. So Brad Underwood, the Illinois men's basketball head coach, is going to be in the Pro-Am this year. If you could pick one either current Hawkeye, recent graduate, or some celebrity with ties to Iowa to be in the Pro-Am, who are you picking?
Well, I was thinking about this, and you know, if I don't want anyone who's if I don't care about like good performance,
Yeah.
I would love to get a big dude from the line, like the trenches of football. Get them out there, like Y.A. Black, Jennings
I
Dunker.
was thinking Dunker, yeah.
Yeah, imagine them. Like, I mean, they were 6'8", 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Imagine them like swinging like this massive club, because it's probably got to be pretty massive for
Right.
them to fit it, and just letting it rip.
Mhm.
And it's probably not gonna be a great shot every time, but if they connect, I mean, watching that thing fly, that'd just be amazing.
For 18 holes, that'd be hilarious, actually.
You could get a lot of good clips
Yeah.
out of that.
So I was at a different station a couple years back when Caitlin Clark came to the TPC Deer Run. That place was packed, obviously.
Yeah.
She teed off around 8:30 in the morning. I talked to some people. They made a 4-hour drive just to see her in person. 4 hours, all right? Then last year, or the year after that, sorry, we had Keegan Murray come.
Mhm.
And then last year was TJ Hawkinson and Riley Moss, all right? Obviously, the low-hanging fruit is Ben McCollum.
Yeah.
Ben McCollum
yeah.
and Brad Underwood playing 18 holes. That'd be hilarious, I think.
That would be amazing. Throw Hoiberg in there, and
Yeah.
maybe get who else? Otts would be kind of cool. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I was also thinking kind of a local tie-in. Nicholas Bear could be a
Yeah,
possible idea. Or old quarterback Ricky Stanzi.
Ricky Stanzi. That'd be nice.
And then I guess the outlier, if she's not busy, which she might be, Kate Martin. Because obviously a fan favorite here in the Quad Cities. And I think that would be a really big pull for the JDC. But I like how they're bringing in more or less local coaches now into the Pro-Am. I think, Brad Underwood, 3 hours away in Champaign, still a very good get, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Final Four appearance, too,
Yeah.
this year. His fan base has never been higher on him.
Now, I like him because he tells you how it is. And
Yeah.
I feel like just seeing him alongside Ben McCollum would be pure comedy.
Yeah,
like
that would
4
be
hours.
great. That'd be great. I feel like Ben McCollum could probably swing it pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put him alongside Zach Johnson from Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, there we go.
That'd be a fun pairing.
Yeah. Underwood, I bet he can drive it. I feel like there's no way that man has any touch around the green.
So if you were on the TPC Deer Run course, I don't know if you played there yet.
I haven't, no.
How well do you think you would do?
I would not do good. I mean, it's a professional course for
It
a
is.
reason. And, I can get off the tee pretty well. I can get up to the green, but I think that is like where I would struggle. I'd probably find myself in bunkers all the time.
Okay.
And my putting is already horrendous on municipal courses
Right.
where they're pretty flat and not super fast. And I'm like, man, I would probably putt off the green before even making it in the hole
Yeah.
on like 90% of the holes.
See, I'm more of a mini golf guy. I've never played an actual 18 holes. I would want to believe for my ego that I could 5-putt maybe on a par 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never actually played on the course, and it looks very difficult, and I'll leave it to the pros. But one day, if I could actually just do some putting practice on there, I'd be down for it.
There you go. Yeah. I'll get us to the green.
Yes.
You knock us in.
Down for that. Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up our podcast alongside Joel Keller. I'm Evan Dennett with Hawkeye Headquarters Weekly Podcast. Have a great rest of your week.